All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone for teaching us His truth to rule well. I'm going to go into something quick. Lord willing, it's edifying. I had this guy that I made a video about the 400-year prophecy. Another person commented, and I guess they thought I was siding with vocab, which I'm not. But they said, these people think. They said these people think that they're the true Hebrews, all right, and they don't want to consider prophecy of the true Hebrews that happened 400 years or in the time of the Exodus. Roughly paraphrasing what he said. And I said, no, I believe I'm a Hebrew Israelite. Okay, I truly believe I'm a Hebrew Israelite, and I believe that we are the Israelites, but the mixing of doctrines is not tolerated, man. All right, because you have to have the truth. All right, without the truth comes what does it say in scripture? A little leaven leaveneth the whole bread, or the whole lump. Okay, a little bit of leaven leaveneth the whole lump, man. So if you're unclean in certain parts of your doctrine that you believe in, then your whole thing is going to be unclean eventually, man. Where a little bit of darkness creeps in, pretty soon it'll consume everything else you have, So if you believe in 400 years this is the 400-year prophecy, then eventually you're going to start believing in Egyptology, and you're going to believe in different other doctrines, man. That's how it always starts. It always starts with a little bit. All right? A little bit of sin creeps in, and next thing you know, you're fucked, man. So I went into this one, the return of the Jews to the promised land. All right? Which scripture never says the Jews will return to the promised land. Scripture never says that. All right? And that's first and foremost. So when you go here, you read on, it says the Messianic idea of returning the Jews to their promised land. All right. And check this out. It says Messianic, relating to the Messiah. Okay. The Messiah is going to take you back to the kingdom of heaven, to the promised land. You see that? So they just cut themselves, man. The Messianic idea of returning the Jews to their promised land. And again, it never says the returning of the Jews, or I will cause the Jews to return to their promised land. That's not how it goes, man. Scripture says Israel and Judah, or all Israel. That's what it says. Or it says Judah and Ephraim, okay, which is all Israel. Ephraim being the 10 tribes and Judah being the 3 tribes, So it says, promised land has been a Persian Puritan, religious belief since the 16th century and the mid-19th century. British politicians saw another value, that of having in place in the Middle East a Jewish entity sympathetic to British Empire. All right, so they go talking about, a little bit of history. It says the visionary Austrian Jewish journalist Theodor Herzl clarified and gave political weight that the concept of Jewish nationalism or Zionism and a national home for the Jews in Palestine at the First Zionist Congress of Basel in Switzerland in 1997, he won wide Jewish backing for it, and tried at first unsuccessfully to encourage the British government to support it. All right, so they're going into not Messianic relief of captivity, all right, which those Jews weren't even really in captivity, But again, back to the top, the Messianic idea of returning the Jews to their promised land. And here you have a man, all right, which is not the Messiah. Here you have a man that's trying to reason with different governments, trying to support them going back to, or going to the nation of Israel, what is Israel today. So it's flawed, man. From the beginning, it's flawed. All right. talks about immigration, then it talks about, being sent here and sent there, and then eventually the nations. All right, down here it says in 1948, the Jews in Palestine managed to establish their own state. Look at that. They managed to establish their own state, Israel. The price to pay were decades of war and violence. All right, and if you see that right there, the price to pay for them to go to that land, it says were decades of war and violence. Up to this day, they're still in war. They're still in violence. Okay, they're still being threatened. So that right there should cut anything you have in mind of Israel being, of them being the Israelites, of them being the chosen. So actually, let me jump to this article. It says, what does the Bible have to say about the return of the Jews to their homeland? Okay, it says down here, there are two returns. According to them, there's two returns. It says Isaiah 11:11, which one of the returns did happen after the Babylonian captivity. All right. Judah, Benjamin, and Levi did go back to Israel. All right. But in Assyria, scripture talks about the 10 tribes that left Assyria. Okay. So Dan was still part of Israel when he left Assyria. Okay. And then somewhere down the line, he either, mingled with the other tribes here in the Americas and became one of those tribes. Only Yahweh Hashem Yahushai truly knows what exactly happened. Okay, but that's what we believe, because scripture says that he will rule as one of the tribes of Israel. Now, is that not automatic? When you are a tribe of Israel, you're going to rule as a tribe of Israel? So clearly it's not talking about them ruling as Dan, but instead ruling as one of the tribes of Israel that were proclaimed by Yahweh Hashem Yahushai before the world began. Okay, so it says there are two returns. Isaiah 11:11 indicates that there would be a day when the Most High would raise his hand a second time to gather the children of Israel to their homeland. The first return was predicted by the prophet Jeremiah to take place after Israel had been in captivity for 70 years. And according to Ezra 1:1, happened precisely as foretold. After 500 years of intermittent and partial sovereignty in the land, the Jewish people were once again dispersed under the Roman Empire in 70 AD. Okay, it says after so this is them saying that there was two returns and it's been fulfilled. Yahweh Shai doesn't have to come back anymore. He can stay up in heaven with the Most High because the Jews are already back in their homeland. Okay, so not all scripture was fulfilled, but yet it doesn't have to be fulfilled anymore because they made it back somehow. Okay, clearly that's false. Yahweh Shai said not until all scripture is fulfilled. Okay, not until all scripture is fulfilled. Okay, it says 500 years of intermittent and partial sovereignty in the land. The Jewish people were once again dispersed under the Roman Empire, which happened in 70 AD, and it did happen in 70 AD, started around 65 AD, I believe. The small wars, and then in 70 AD, Jerusalem was ransacked by the Roman Empire, and there was a disperse of the people. And Yahweh Shai said, kill the shepherd and the sheep shall scatter. Okay? Kill the shepherd and the sheep shall scatter. And that's what happened after Yahweh Shai was killed. Okay? You had a dispersing of the Israelites, all right? The Christian Israelites. And they started preaching the gospel. And then in 70 AD, when Jerusalem was ransacked by the Romans, okay, then a lot of them fled to the mountains, and they fled and dispersed to different governments, okay, different nations. So it says, no other people, it says after 2,000 years, Salakia, the Roman Empire in 70 AD, after 2,000 years, they have now returned and is reestablished sovereignty, okay? No other group has managed to survive 2 exiles, much less one that was 2,000 years long, and then return to reestablish national sovereignty. Well, it's been over 2,000 years, man. It's been over 2,000 years, and the Israelites are still in captivity and still counting. Okay, until Yahweh Shem Yahushai comes back. That's why we're hastening the day of Yahweh Shem Yahushai to come back, man. This is the longest captivity we've ever been in. Okay, the longest captivity we've ever been in. The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, okay, from the time of the Assyrian captivity, we came over here, and then at the time of Christopher Colon or Cristobal Colon and the conquistadors and the British and the slave trade, throughout those whole entire times, man, we were just being tossed to and fro, thrown around in captivity and sent back to our land as captives and working under the governments, the Edomites, you know, and to now being here in Babylon the Great, America, you know, because as we read in the other part, there should have been something, all right, to indicate that they were the true Israelites. So this Isaiah 11:11, and it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time, okay, to recover the remnant of his people, not all Israel, but the remnant, which are the elect. It says, which shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt and from Pathros, from Cush, from Elam, from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea. Okay, and who was in literal Assyria? The 10 tribes of Israel. You know, they went into the Assyrian captivity. And who is spiritually in spiritual Egypt and spiritual Assyria right now? All tribes, the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom, which is Babylon the Great. Okay, it says Hamath and the islands in the sea. And actually, to prove that, before I get Jeremiah 29, which I'll go into, this is Psalms 137. Where am I? Psalms 137. What was it, 40? 137. Oh, let me just start off from the top. Psalms 137:1. By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down. Yea, we wept when we remembered Zion. We hanged our harps upon the willows in the midst thereof. For there they that carried us away captives required of us a song, and they that wasted us required of us mirth, saying, sing unto us songs of Zion. Okay, what's a good song, man? What's a good song? You know, in captivity, whenever we came in the slave ships, there's a lot of songs that talk about being carried over to Jordan, the chariots coming down to save us, Kumbaya, okay? But also it says, how shall we sing Yahweh's song in a strange land? If I forget thee, O Jerusalem, let my right hand forget her cunning. If I do not remember thee, let my tongue cleave to the roof of my mouth. If I prefer not Jerusalem above my chief joy, remember Yahweh, the children of Edom, in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon, who are to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. Okay, so that captivity that we went in was obviously by Edomites. And Babylon the Great is the daughter of Babylon, which is of Edom. Why else would it say 7 and 8, O daughter of Babylon, after talking about the children of Edom? Okay, verse 9, happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones. Okay, why? Because what you did unto us, we're going to do unto you double. So when did this happen? Okay, because when Israel is led to their land, this is going to happen. The daughter of Babylon is going to be destroyed according to prophecy, right? The little ones of the Edomites are going to be destroyed. It doesn't say that Edom is going to be destroyed only by the hand of Yahweh and and time is going to pass, and then this and that's going to happen, and then eventually the Jews are just going to fly back to their own land, and that's it. Okay? You have to follow prophecy, man. And that's what these Christians don't understand. They hear one thing and think that they know the prophecy. Okay? Like, for instance, this prophecy with the Israelites going back to their homeland. They hear, oh, people are living there. That must be a fulfillment of prophecy. Not going into history, not going into, prophecy, which is the most important thing, rather that you prophesy, right? So according to prophecy, when did this happen? Psalms 137. When did the Most High destroy Edom and save Jerusalem, okay, and dash Edom's little ones unto the stones? Well, according to the book of Revelations, it hasn't happened yet, but it's getting ready to happen. Okay? So going back to Isaiah 11 and verse 11. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, shall set his hand against the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt and from Pathros, and from Cush and from Elam and from Shinar and from Hamath and from the islands of the sea. And he shall set them up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel. Okay, the outcasts of Israel. So with that, I want to say, who are the Israelites? Okay, if the Israelites are going to be gathered together, according to Ezekiel 37, okay, according to Deuteronomy 33, according to Revelations 14 and 4, the elect. Who are the elect? Okay, according to Revelations 21, the kingdom of heaven made out of gold. Where is that at? Okay, according to scripture and prophecy, where is any of this stuff, man? Where is any of this stuff? Them being Jews over there in the land of Israel without prophecy being fulfilled only fulfills one prophecy, and that's in Revelations chapter 2. Okay, that's the only one that they fulfill. The Jews that call themselves Jews and are not. Okay, it says, verse 12 again, assemble the outcasts of Israel. So it's all Israel. Okay, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. All right, so when you go in verse 13, it says, the envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. Okay, so where's Ephraim? I don't see those people in Israel calling themselves Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Asher, Issachar, Zebulun, Naphtali. I don't see them calling themselves by the name of the tribes. I don't see them calling themselves Judah, Benjamin, Levi. Especially not the 10 tribes. Okay? So if that was the case, if this is fulfillment of prophecy, then it has to fulfill the whole prophecy. It's not just partial. It doesn't say I'm going to bring back Judah, okay, and I'm going to leave Ephraim for a time period, and then I'm going to come back and save part of Ephraim as well. It doesn't say that. It says all Israel shall be saved, right? That's not talking about every individual Israelite. It's talking about all the tribes of the elect are going to be saved. It says, verse 14, but they shall fly upon the shoulders of the Philistines towards the west. Now, why is it towards the west? They shall spoil them from the east together. They shall lay their hand upon Edom and Moab. I thought Edom was destroyed already. And the children of Ammon shall obey them. Okay? So it says, and Yahweh shall utterly destroy the tongue of the Egyptian sea, and with his mighty wind shall he shake his hand over the river, and shall smite it in the 7 streams, and make men go over dry shod. And there shall be a highway for the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria, like as it was to Israel in the day that he came unto the land of Egypt. Okay, so now let's go into the word Assyria. Because again, I mentioned literal Assyria is where the 10 tribes went into captivity, and then they fled Assyria. And a lot of them stayed back, and a lot of them left. Okay, but spiritual Assyria is Ashar, which is a step. Okay, a step to what? A step to salvation, a step to remembering. All right, because when you go into the root word, Ashar is to go straight, to walk, to go on, advance, make progress. So where is it that Israel left? Okay, all Israel, where is it that they went to captivity to make progress? Where did they progress? Okay, where did they go and progress? That Edomites dwell. Okay, that Moabites dwelled, that Ammonites dwelled. Here in Babylon the Great, America, I just read it in Psalms 137, right? Here's where we're progressing, man. Okay, look at that. Call blessed, right? And your enemies that said, you are not the people, there shall it be said, ye are the children of the Most High, right? You will be called blessed, man. To be made happy. Okay? Where are we going to be made happy? Not here, but the deliverance from here, because we're going to what? Advance. Okay? We're going to make progress, which coincides with Scripture. So now let's go to the book of Judges, chapter 5, and verse 3. Hear, O ye kings, give ear, O ye princes. I, even I, will sing a song sing unto Yahweh. I will sing praise to Yahweh, the God of Israel. Yahweh, when thou wentest out of Seir, when thou marchest out of the field of Edom, the earth trembled, and the heavens dropped. The clouds also dropped water. Okay? So when did this happen? When did the Most High come out of Edom, and then the earth trembled? According to Scripture, it's getting ready to happen. Okay? So if those Jews that are in Israel now are the real Jews, then this had to have happened already. So when did it happen? Okay? It says, verse 5, the mountains melted from before Yahweh, even that Sinai from before Yahweh, the God of Israel. Okay? When did this happen, man? Okay? During the time of the Exodus? Did that happen during the time of the Exodus? You know? And Deborah was just singing about what happened. That Edom was shook. That the mountains were melted. No, man, it's getting ready to happen. Okay? And the proof is in the pudding. Judges 5 and 11. They that are delivered from the noise of the archers in the place of drawing water. So how will the mountains be melted? How is the earth going to tremble? By the nuclear missiles. You know? By the nuclear missiles, man. If you don't think this place deserves to die, then you haven't seen enough videos from the elders apostles. You haven't done your own research. Okay? When you go, I was checking out this, I think it was the History Channel, but it said, what would happen if people in general, just everyone, every single person was to disappear? What would happen to the earth? Okay? And you see the technology of Esau, Edom, nuclear plants, okay? Their ships that they have out in the sea full of chemicals, okay? Their minings that they've done. Look at what happened in Oklahoma, man. The mining that they did over there left that land desolate, okay? And left the water polluted. You see? So you don't think this place needs to be destroyed? It needs to be destroyed, man. You know, the natural way of the earth is been shifted. You know, it's in a more chaotic. What is it called? It's in a more chaotic way now, man. You know, cycles have been cut off. You see? So the noise of the archers in the places of drawing water, it says, they are delivered from the noise of the archers in the places of drawing water. Okay, and that's here, Babylon the Great. Okay, this is where the missiles are gonna come. You know, this is where the missiles are gonna come. It's gonna be throughout the whole world. All right, various places, and in various places are also gonna get ready to fight Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Okay, and various places are gonna get destroyed. You know, and the heathen, the remnant of the heathen, are gonna be slaves, especially Esau Edom. You know, and by slaves I'm saying they're gonna be in subjection under Israel. But Esau Edom is gonna be in hardcore slavery, man. It says there